Thanks, everybody. Thank you for having me. Representation is the word I want to talk about today. Thank you. Because it's one of the words I think about the most, not during my work hours, but especially after I leave the office, when I'm reading a book, when I'm standing at a bus station and I see an advertising campaign, when I'm watching a movie, when I'm scrolling through TikTok, or even when I choose what brand of pasta to purchase. And that's because the word representation has two meanings. It stands both for having someone or something stands for us, and also we're standing for someone else or something else. For example, one of the easiest way to think about it is when we vote for our political representative. We choose a person or a party to ensure that our agenda will be carried through. But it also works in sports. For example, during the Olympic or tennis, we choose a team or a player to cheer for, even if we don't understand a thing about that particular game. We are happy when he or she or they win, and we want them to succeed. But what happens if this doesn't happen? What happens when our team can make it through the finals? Or, for example, if I want to buy some new nude underwear, and in like northern Italy especially, but northern countries, nude underwear is pure white. What if I want to apply for a job at a company and I check them on LinkedIn, and in every picture there's just a white middle-aged man? It's not for me because I don't see myself represented. And what happens when we don't see ourselves? We feel a disconnection. That's because representation comes from Latin. The word speaks for itself. It literally means to put something under our eyesight. That's how human being works. We need to see thing in order to in order to process it, to understand it, to learn something about that thing or that person or that movement. And by doing that, we understand more of ourselves. So that's why it's important for us to see difference, because if we don't see difference, we can't process it, we can't learn, and we can't improve ourselves. And that's why if we need to have a more diverse representation of women, people of color, disability, because if we don't see it, we don't know they could be, and therefore, for us, they don't exist. So let's see if this works. Can you name at least one of these three people? Yes, I can read your lips. Yes, you guessed one. The middle, yeah. So these are three men that shaped how we use technology and media today. I didn't choose them as young kids because it would be more difficult, but because marketing did so. In 2025, it was released the new memoir by Bill Gates, and his marketing team decided that it would be a great idea to put him as a kid on the front cover. They're selling a book, but they're also selling a story that maybe to have that kind of drive, kind of a genius, a visionary approach, you have to have it in yourself when you were a kid. Now, this is a child you won't see near the other ones, and for a reason, it's not a picture, it's a painting, because we are at the beginning of 1800s. This is Augusta Ada Byron, later Countess of Lovelace, and I'm showing her to you because she was the first person, not woman person, to write an algorithm for a machine. We are in 1842-43, and she wrote down this. It's called Algorithm for Node G. I have no idea what this means and what I'm showing you, but trust me. And she did so after 9 months of hard working and exchanging letters with her peers among different universities and academies around Europe. I have no, trust me, they were all men. She was the only woman, but she's the first person to do it so. And by doing it, she realized that with an algorithm, you can make a machine that could compute and program. It's 1842. She also said, by doing this, the machine will process things, information, data, words, number, music by itself, and her words, the future will be artificial intelligence. She called herself an analyst, and during the year, she looked at something like this, and that's why I love her even more. She was a flamboyant, exceptional woman, an analyst, and that's a word I want you to remember. Now, these are some statistics sorry, from an article I found. It was published earlier this year that compounds a lot of research and data about tech companies and the technology industries at all. In its all, almost 92% of software developers in the world are men. Women are analysts. 51% of analysts tech and data analysis are women. Think about Ada Lovelace, and she called herself an analyst. Only 17% of tech companies' CEO are women. According to other research, 10%. Because of gender-based bias, because of cultural stereotypes that makes women more prone to, they think, critical analyzing, working not on the stage, but paper to paper, and not leading teams. And in fact, that 36% is the how many recruiters interviewed declared that in tech industries there's still an immense bias in hiring women, people of color, Latin people in companies. But 76%, according to Glassdoor, 76% of people, young people mostly, looking for a job today, 76% of them find diversity the first meaningful thing when looking for a job, an occupation, and choosing, and with that, choosing a company over another. According to McKinsey, 30% of teams that have women as an executive are more prone to succeed, 30% or more, and teams which have a bigger diversity have a 39% chance of succeed. Because when the team has diversity in it, every component can see the difference right under his, her, or their eyes, and process new information, learn new things, not just for her, him, or themselves, but for the company. A new approach, a new way of thinking, a new idea to put not just for themselves, but to put into the company. Now, because, as we said before, if we don't see the difference, we don't know it exists, we can't learn, because human beings need to process information, to see information in order to process them. And let's go back to Ada Lovelace. She wasn't only a mathematician, she was a poet. She wrote poetry every day. She was a composer. and she believed that by programming machines, you can teach them how to make music. We are still in 1800s, I remember you. And by 12, she thought she could fly just by looking at birds, learning how they use their wings, and make a pair for herself. So she looked at a reality, new languages, different languages around herself, to make a better understanding, not just of herself, but all the world she was living in order to, as we said before, she had a vision. She said, artificial intelligence is the future of science. This is just a start algorithm, but if we use it together, if you use it in different way, if you try to do different things with it, we can grow together. Sorry for the hello. Thank you for your time.